time for a reality check. I'm almost 30 now, about to get married, having a bit of a hair loss, but yeah, that's okay. I still have 4 lakhs in my bank account to get myself my own motorcycle right now, because if I don't get it now, I might get married and getting a car later will be the most prior thing. However, I've got 2 very good options with me for the price of just little above 4 lakhs. This one is the QJ SRK 400. Shah Rukh Khan is right over here. It's a proper naked motorcycle from the QJ lineup, the costliest too. And that is the flagship Royal Enfield, the Super Meteor 650. Now both the motorcycles are completely poles apart. However, they have one thing in common, and that is a parallel twin motor. Yet the numbers are quite different, the styling is quite different. All they serve is looks, power, torque, and definitely some attention. And that is what guys of my age are looking for that. Hence, this comparison. The things that are common between both of them: number one, LED indicators, LED headlight and LED tail light. Yeah, both have a different design and different setup altogether, but LEDs all around is another thing that's common. QJ SRK gets you 13.5 litre fuel tank, while the same on the Royal Enfield over here, it's a 15.7 litre fuel tank. And both the motorcycles have been returning me the exact same mileage between 23 to 27 kilometers per litre on our daily riding. So if I talk about the range and everything else, the Super Meteor will definitely go the distance. However, that can get you a little more mileage because it is lighter. When I talk about weight, this one is close to 240 kgs, while the QJ is just 180. 60 kg weight difference. That's one person right there. For the things that I can touch and for the meter that I can see, here you get an analog digital cluster with decent amount of information, and yes, you get a triple meter on the side that gets you navigation data too once you connect your phone. Connectivity features are not there on the QJ. Tactile feel of the buttons is quite nice, which give a good feel. Not really much of a problem here. The horn is decent for the Royal Enfield. It is a little bit thin, not like the other Royal Enfields. I am not sure if it's a problem with my motorcycle or what is the case, but this is how it sounds. For the QJ, the switch gear is quite nice, and you get a square display. It's an LCD display, not colorful TFT, nothing like such, but get you good amount of information, and the button feel is quite nice. There is an extra set of buttons because there are no buttons on the meter. Over here you can see 2 extra buttons to change data on the meter, so it does feel a little bit dated. For the price, it does not seem worth it. Now this is a street naked motorcycle. Yes, it is very different from a cruiser, and the way you sit on it, it is still comfortable because the seat height is close to 785 mm and it is very accessible. The foot pegs are center set. However, taking the bike behind or front, you might end up hitting your shin, hit your shin and calf both, because the foot pegs are a little too wide. That kept aside, once you sit on the motorcycle, it is a very comfortable place to be on, very upright, and the handlebar feel is quite a lot nice. However, there is one big problem, and that is for the pillion, which is easily visible here. To demonstrate this, I have Adil with me. He'll sit over here and he'll show you guys how comfortable or uncomfortable really he is. Aajao. जगह
नहीं बाबा, बिल्कुल नहीं है, पूरा बम्बार आ गया।
ये म्यूट करना पड़ेगा. But as you heard, it is not really spacious or comfortable for a pillion unless you have your child sitting behind or a super thin chick. Thank you, bro. So this motorcycle is a rider's motorcycle. If you have pillion duties, this is probably the solution. The seat height of the Super Meteor is 45 mm less, and it is a very wide seat, and it is very comfortable. Super comfortable front seat foot pegs, and the way I sit on this motorcycle, it feels royal. It does justify the name. And when I said pillion duties, I have Adil again, and he'll sit on this and he'll tell me whether his bum fit here or not. Oh shit! Still smaller. So the seat is small on both the motorcycles for the pillion, but here there is still a bit of a comfort. As he said, lambi ride ke liye nahi ho payega until unless you get the Celestial, where you get backrest also and touring seat. Tab maza aayega. So family matters, and if you are healthy, just like the way I am, or if you want a motorcycle that can go the distance, you want to go cruising, Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. That is basically a city motorcycle, yeah. Now it matters to a lot of people on how the motorcycle looks, and the first thing that really matters is the face. Over here you've got a Decepticon transformer face with dual headlight setup, dual projectors, dual LEDs. It does look very aggressive. Here it's a round headlight with splits in between for a low beam and a high beam. This is completely classic. Well, this is completely aggression. And then comes the body line, where the Royal Enfield gets you a teardrop tank and the flowing lines slope down at the rear. For the SRK, everything goes rear up and gets aggressive in a very edgy manner. Yes, both the motorcycle will give you the attention that you need. However, both are poles apart. One more thing that is common between both the motorcycles, which I forgot to mention earlier, and that is the USD, folks. Let's talk about the dynamics, and both the motorcycles are dynamically very strong. Yes, the SRK gets a shorter wheelbase, but it gets a 140 section tire at the rear and 110 at the front with 17 inches, and it grips really well. It corners nicely, it flicks between traffic without having any problems at all, and because of the less weight, it is dynamically so strong that you get a lot of feedback on the handlebar. The Super Meteor, on the other hand, is a lazy turner. It does not move as immediately, but on a straight line it just stays. Thanks to the extra long wheelbase and a complete cruiser setup, this motorcycle is made for the distance. However, there is a big problem. The rear suspension of the Super Meteor hits you very badly on Indian roads. That is a big problem. The Indian roads are a big problem, and for that the suspension is not really tuned as such. If you're taking on Palm Beach Road or any great highways, you will love the Super Meteor even more because it just stays where you want to. The SRK is super flickable, so yes, it is very nimble. For the Super Meteor, you will require a bit of effort, but yes, both the motorcycles are fun in a different manner altogether. Now, the engine structure of the Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 is quite different. Although it's a parallel twin, it's a heavy engine. The 648cc motor produces 46 bhp power and 52 Nm of torque. Yes, it is a slow revving engine, but then again, the moment you have that torque load coming in right from 2000 RPM, this motorcycle moves. You don't have to flick between the gears, and yes, the 6-speed gearbox does come in handy, but then again, sticking to one gear and utilizing that power, utilizing that torque is very friendlier on the Royal Enfield. The engine does heat up quite a lot, and you can feel that heat coming to your legs when you're riding in a hot day or battling through traffic. But then again, that is not a problem once you hit the highways, and that is where this motorcycle shines. The engine on the Super Meteor is an air plus oil cooled engine, while the same on the SRK over here is a liquid cooled engine. So yes, it is automatically advanced over here and maintains heat very nicely. And since it is smaller in size with just 400 cubic capacity, producing close to 40 bhp of power and 37 Nm of torque with a good power and torque band, this motorcycle is a hoon to ride in the city. The power delivers very immediately, and popping a wheelie on the SRK is a fun thing to do because it just lifts and it just shoots. Riding in traffic or filtering through traffic, taking it out on the highway, there's one problem, that is the wind blast. But then again, this motorcycle is quite stable taking corners and it holds the line like nothing else. And at the same time, the engine performs really well. But then there is one problem with the SRK, and that is the amount of vibrations. Although it's a parallel twin, it has to be smooth, it has to be in the DNA. The Super Meteor has a bit of vibrations, but the SRK has that even more. Right from 5000 RPM, you can feel the buzz to your balls, and that is very troublesome. With so much torque and power on tap, you need to slow down immediately, and for the brakes, there's one winner over here, the Super Meteor. Yes, I'm saying this since the SRK even gets twin disc at the front. The braking distance between both the motorcycles is almost the same, but the brake bite, the confidence that you want from the motorcycle while braking, the feedback that you ask from it, the Super Meteor has it better. It does feel dull, it does feel wooden on the SRK, but then again, the motorcycle is not too heavy to stop, and the grip from the Maxxis tires is good enough. The same from the C8s on the Super Meteor is not the best, but then again, the weight keeps it glued to the ground, and hence both the motorcycles feel dynamically strong, yet in a different manner altogether. Both the motorcycles have a different firing order, and hence they sound different too. Here is the exhaust note of the Super Meteor. And here is the exhaust note of the SRK. See the huge difference? This one rumbles and this one sounds like a super bike. There is a huge difference right here. If we talk about the pricing, we'll have to mention the variants too. And for the QJ SRK 400, it's just the variants with the colors. For the Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650, it's Astral, Celestial with a lot of accessories being added to it. The top model of the Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 and the cost of the QJ SRK 400 with the red color is almost the same, with just a price difference of 5 to 7,000 rupees. This one is the Astral and this one is close to 20,000 cheaper. You guys will definitely say that why am I comparing a street naked with a cruiser motorcycle? What sense does it make? See, when a guy goes out in the market to get himself a unique motorcycle for a price of 4.5 lakh rupees, he's gonna look at every option possible, and here are two good options because the SRK 400 is a very unique Shah Rukh Khan we get, and the Royal Enfield Super Meteor is a comfortable yet a flagship cruiser. So he might consider both of them. If he wants to get himself a motorcycle for his own self, just riding on his own, and by the time he gets married, to enjoy as much as possible, the SRK does it really well. But then again, if you want to get your wife around too, she is that one traveler kind, she like the Super Meteor, and that is the winner of this shootout because the Super Meteor does make a lot of sense. And until unless you have a kid, you can ride the Super Meteor and then maybe change it and get yourself a car. So yes, the Royal Enfield Super Meteor is my pick in today's comparison. But personally, until I get married, I'll get the SRK for the way it sounds, for the way it rides. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. For me, the winner in this comparison is getting myself married here.